Canada is mostly known by its large Rocky Mountains, beauty of the nature, and Great Lakes going for thousands of miles. Canada is rich with culture and history, with each province that is across the land of Canada. Dunvegan is one of the historical sites with history going back hundreds of years. There were Duns and other Askaristian people who are Aboriginal people living in the area of Dunvegan on a seasonal basis. Cree people are also living in the area, but disliked by the Dunze people. 1973, it would appear that a peace agreement is signed and naming the river Peace River after the agreement. 2 years later, in 1805, Fort Dunvegan is established by Archibald Norman on the north side of the river. 1820s, a few things happen in this time. Northwest Company joins with the Hudson Bay Company, being the largest company at the time, and Dunvegan becoming a Hudson Bay post. Later on, Hudson Bay Company shuts down Fort St. John, and the native people living there was not given a notice. This resulted in 5 men getting killed by native groups and shut down Dunvegan as a punishment. 3 years later, Dunvegan reopened to trade and was rebuilt with the gardens replanted. 1830. After the harsh winter, Dunvegan's main source of food was wood bison. The wood bison moved towards the mountain, making them more difficult to find. The people of Dunvegan changed to moose and elk as their main source of meat. In 1840s, trade decreased and Dunze people were killed by disease and starvation because nutrient and meat was hard to come by. During this time, many missionary people arrived at Dunvegan and missions began. 1845 to 1846. First Catholic missionary in northern Alberta stays in Dunvegan, and while they were there, baptized number of Dunze people. 1859, an Oblate Catholic missionary arrives at Dunvegan and decides to build a permanent mission at Dunvegan. The Dunze people discouraged Dunvegan because of the indifferences of Oblate's Catholic missionary. 1862, a famous free trader, 12-foot Davis, sets a shop right across the river from Dunvegan until his death in 1900. 5 years later, 1867, St. Charles Roman Catholic Mission is established and missionary lives at Hudson Bay Post until a house chapel is constructed east of the fort in 1869. 1878, Fort Dunvegan becomes the headquarters of the new Peace River District. The Factor's House is built in Dunvegan and still stands today. A year later, St. Xavier Ellicotton Mission established west of the Fort Dunvegan. 1883, even more missionaries are sent to Dunvegan. 3 years later, Hudson Bay Company reorganized and moves the district headquarters from Dunvegan to Lesser Slave Lake. A church has been completed in 1887 and also a new house chapel in 1889, which both still stand today. 1891, St. Xavier's Mission is shut down. 8 years later, Treaty 8 is signed at Dunvegan by Headman Natiosis and behalf of 33 Danze. In the following year, 75 other groups joined. 1900. At this time, there was an increase of free traders in relevant fairs. A fur retail purchases a post near Dunvegan and operated until 1950. 1903, Oblate missionaries leave Dunvegan in favor of prospering settlement at Spirit River. There is an increase of prosperity from farmers settling nearby and improving transportation and communication. This starts a decline of fur trade at the Dunvegan fort. 1905, Dunze leader asks for a reserve next to where the town of Fairview is today. 4 years later, a cable ferry is installed at Dunvegan to get across the river by the provincial government. 1918, Fort Dunvegan is closed by the Hudson Bay Company. 1956, local Knights of Columbus convinced the Alberta government to acquire the Catholic mission buildings in Dunvegan. 1960, the Dunvegan Suspension Bridge is completed and open, replacing the cable ferry. Later in 1978, the Factor's House is designated to a historical site. Fort Dunvegan is now a historical provincial park in Alberta and can be visited every summer and can learn hundreds of history from going. It is a wonderful place to visit. If you are looking for more information about our region and its beginning, come see the richness and beauty of Dunvegan region today.